Good evening, everybody. So just to say a couple quick words for people that haven't been to one of our Share Your Session events before. This is something we started doing a few months ago because there were people in the group that are newer to kinesiology or who only work with certain modalities and thought that they would really like to see how other practitioners work, how people handle a session, how people move through material. Everybody does things a little different, and it lets us kind of see all of the options available to us in our muscle testing work. So we've done a few of these. It's been really fun. And even though I've been doing this a long time, I really like seeing how everybody handles things on the table and getting some ideas for things that I forget to do or should be incorporating. So we've invited Adam Lehman to come and do Share Your Session for us tonight. And his work is different from what a lot of people in this group do, so it should be really great. So we're gonna let him do his balance. We're recording it for the few of us that weren't able to make it tonight. And then at the end, we'll stop and make sure that everyone can ask questions, okay? Sound good? All right. In that case, I will mute myself, and maybe if you aren't needing to ask a question or something, keep yourself muted so the audio is clear. And we will let him take it away. Thanks, Adam.
Alrighty then. Well, hi everybody. This is fun. I kind of retired from my practice when I moved to Colorado almost 3 years ago, and and coming through the pandemic and all, things had kind of died back then. So it's going to be fun. This is Jessica, who has graciously and bravely volunteered. And she's had one session with me before, and some months ago, I think. And so she is pretty new to this kind of work as well. So that'll bring that element into it. So I guess we'll just kind of go from here and do it as if she just walked in the door, which she kind of just did. As did I. So we're just kind of scrambling here to be prepared and get into the groove. So I don't know, Alexis, am I supposed to be introducing myself in any other way or anything like that, or just going for it?
Up to you and whatever feels good for you.
Okay.
Or maybe you could say what modalities you use.
Yeah, a little bit of my background there. So, I've done a lot, literally thousands and thousands of hours of trainings over 35 years. Well, over 30 or 25 or 30 of those years anyway. Started with Touch for Health, like so many people do, quickly branched off into One Brain, and then on from there into any number of other things. I actually spent a bunch of time in Australia, first learning applied physiology, which I then later became international instructor and instructor trainer of, and worked pretty closely with Richard Utt, the founder of applied physiology, until he passed away. And I was lucky enough to take workshops with not only most of the founders of various modalities, but also a number of the original Dirty Dozen. I did all of Carl Ferrari's work in OT with Carl. I did total body modification with Frank's, and I actually did a workshop with George Goodhart at one point. That was kind of fun, and a lot of work with Wally Schmidt and his quintessential applications work, and a lot of self-study, and on and on and on and on and on from there. So a lot of different background, a lot of different. I was also a licensed massage therapist back in the day, and just as with everybody, just put it all together in kind of my own way, and draw from a lot of things. But the key part of that is probably that through all of the tools and all of the everythings, and and I worked a lot very closely with Charles Krebs as well, and we're good friends, as well as being one of my teachers in that applied physiology training in Australia, and learning his work. I was the second person he ever taught it to, after I spent hours and hours in his office with him. So as complicated as everything can get, probably the key thing was how to bring it all back to just simplicity. And so that's kind of where I come from a lot now, is sticking with basics, and and it doesn't have to be complicated in order to get really good results. So I now have my own things that I teach, holographic experience, which is based on concepts of Richard Utz from applied physiology, but simplified and streamlined and such like that, starting with holographic touch for health, based on the touch for health model, but doing that holographically. So that's probably what I'll be doing some of this evening. I'm also a HeartMath trainer and practitioner certified, and that has always woven into everything I do, because it's just amazing work, and it really fits like hand in glove with the work that we all do. So I'll just leave it at that and go from there. So this is Jessica, and Jessica is a mother of 4, and a singer-songwriter, musician, and a very talented one at that. And we've actually started to play together and do things like that. So that's kind of fun. And we're probably going to go out and play for the first time together tomorrow night.
Yeah.
And Jessica has mentioned that she gets a little bit of stage fright, and that she's also dealing with a bit of a writer's block right now, and hasn't written anything new in some time. So we're going to dive into a little bit of that. We haven't really talked that much about it. I figured I'd save that to make it, spontaneous, and just see where it all goes. So I'm just going to redirect my attention to her, and we'll see what happens next. Hello.
Hello.
Okay, so you did mention that this stage fright aspect. So tell me a little bit more about that.
I don't know. I try to mentally prepare before I go up. Like I do visualization the night before I practice, and as soon as I get up there, it's like, can I say bad words? In my head, it's like, and I get a little jittery, and I'm just constantly like, does it sound good? Do they like it? Is this lame? Is this the right song for this crowd? And that's what's going through my head, and then I have to keep bringing myself back. Just sing the song. Just sing the song. And so all of this is happening in my head while I'm on stage.
Okay, so it sounds, so you're very concerned about how others are going to perceive you.
I do, yes, I do care.
When you do that.
Yes, I could, because I do care.
Right.
Some people have this mentality, I don't care, and they go to their thing and they kill it, or they don't, and they still don't care, and it's awesome. I want some of that, and I don't know how to be that.
Okay. And is that something that has come from other areas of your life, or affects other areas of your life?
I don't know.
Being concerned about, how others perceive you or think about you, or
Well,
where do you think that comes from?
I don't know. I guess, I do care if people like me. I do want to be liked, but also, if they don't, I really guess I don't care if people don't like me, because I like who I am. I guess it's because it's such a vulnerable space, because the songs are coming from my heart and my personal experience, that it's like singing my diary for the world to hear.
Okay.
And then also growing up, my dad was a singer, awesome singer. And, I'd try to sing with him sometimes and he'd be like, "Oh, Jessica, you're just singing a little flat. Here, try this." And so it would kind of like shut me down a little bit. And so I always had this critique every time I would sing, like, "Ooh, maybe it's not good," because he was so good. And I didn't even start performing until he passed away 7 years ago, almost.
Okay.
I wouldn't even, there was no way you would ever catch me singing in front of people. And then after he passed, I was like, man, I don't want to die not ever fulfilling this desire. And then I did it, and it was well received. I had an awesome supportive community around me, but it's still always there, that fear and that lack of confidence, maybe.
Well, how much of that is tied up into, wanting to please dad, or have dad be proud of you?
Maybe, or think that I was good. It just didn't, I guess, wow, this is so crazy talking about this because I never thought about it. Because he was so good, like so good. I mean, his voice. So for me to like sing and him not acknowledge if I was good, I guess, yeah, I wanted to be acknowledged, like, "Oh, honey, your voice is beautiful." Like I never.
And he never did that.
No.
Okay.
Oh, that's so crazy.
And how old were you when?
My whole life. My whole life, because he would try to he'd be like, "Harmonize with me," and I'd be like, scrambling to try to find a harmony. And so to this day, when I go to play music with other people, I always say this. This is so crazy talking about this out loud. I feel like I'm in a therapy session.
No.
I would be like,
I don't know.
I can't harmonize, so you'll have to harmonize with me. I put that block on myself.
That's what you tell other people when you're playing with them.
Well, if they say, "Oh, let's sing together," okay, but you're gonna have to harmonize with me. Like I know how to sing my songs, but I can't sing with you. I can only sing what I know. There's no way I would dare try to sing something else because of fear of sounding like crap.
Okay. Is that still, that
Yes.
harmony thing, that's still a
Yeah.
thing? So, okay, because we haven't played any songs that I sing so far, so I'm just
Well, you gave me some
kind of
piano
curious.
that I was trying to sing some song over. That you sent me like some piano pieces,
Oh, right.
and I couldn't find it. And it was like, I was like, "Oh, okay, well, I guess I can't do that."
Well, it doesn't help that you're trying to harmonize with somebody who can't sing, so to begin with, but aside from that. Okay, so dad is a big part of this.
That's the music, I guess so.
And just more generally speaking, would you say, I mean, how much of that kind of a figure was he in your life in general, in terms of wanting to please him or wanting to, get his love or get the attention that did that aspect of him not complimenting you on your voice, did that spread out into other areas? Did he not give you a lot of that kind of thing?
I mean, I never really thought about
any
it.
of that?
Well, it was expected that we do well in school, so that was never, we just were expected to do well, so that
Okay.
this is so crazy.
So when you did do well, you didn't get a lot of feedback. You
No,
didn't
because
get
we were just supposed to do well in
it's
school,
just-
that's it.
it was expected.
There's no doing bad, that's it. Everything gets taken away. If we get anything less than, B's were okay. Anything less than that, grounded
Yeah.
until we bring that grade up.
Okay.
We were not allowed to have C's on tests.
Okay.
Yeah.
How was mom in the spectrum?
Had nothing to do with it, really. I was raised living with my dad
Oh,
and my
okay.
stepmom, and so my mom was just kind of like every other weekend at a hotel, visitations,
Okay.
that kind of thing.
And stepmom?
Constant praise. Stepmom, difficult, but our adult relationship is fantastic.
Right.
She was a hard ass as a kid. Looking back, super thankful that she was, because I wasn't getting the discipline from my own mother, but she kept a tight rope on us, you know, a tight line to walk.
Okay.
And so she was the one that was more involved with the praise and those things, and he was working. So
Okay.
very old school mentality. Man works, makes the money,
Right.
woman takes care of the home.
Okay. All right. Well, and I'm springing this on her a bit. So your guitar is right around the corner.
Mhm.
You want to grab that for a second?
Am I
Is that
gonna sing
okay?
a song right now? Oh my god. I guess it's easier that they're on a computer. They're not sitting there in real life.
I guess we'll find out.
So bye.
We're just bringing up a little stress here, you know. Great divide.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bring it back,
No
yeah.
problem.
Okay. The whole thing or just like part of
We'll
it?
just start, you know, you know.
Bye.
Well, how are you feeling right now?
I feel fine.
Okay. Let me just have an arm and just hold that up. Hold it up. Yeah. There you
Okay,
go.
okay.
Okay, I'm just gonna give it a little.
I want to like turn the computer around.
All right, so that's unlocking right off the bat. So
Is that good?
there's no good or bad.
So I supposed to play?
Yeah, go ahead.
Whoops, hold on. Got my feet on the ground, but my head's in the clouds. Running full steam ahead, nothing can slow me down. I can see for miles and miles in the rear view. Wide open spaces, no looking back. Sunrise on me. Freedom of the morning. It's starting,
That's good.
yeah.
Cool.
It's starting.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Awesome. You didn't know you were gonna have this full entertainment scenario going on here.
I'm
Cool.
sweating.
So
Can I put this back?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, Adam. Oh my gosh.
so tell me about that. What was that like?
So at first it was fine because I'm confident with that part of the song, but there's the part that we play together
Yeah.
where we slow it way down,
Yeah.
and I forgot, and so I was like, oh shit, should I slow it down? So this whole conversation was happening in my head
Okay.
instead of just letting it happen.
And how did you feel about your singing? You know, you've and
Fine.
all that.
I
Yeah.
think it was fine. I
Okay.
mean, there were parts where, but it was fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. All right then, let's move things over to the table. And have you lie on your back, feet up here, head up there, feet down here, and the rest of you in between.
Head up in here.
No, that's fine where you are. Yeah. And so we're just gonna start checking out some muscles. So I'm gonna have you put this at your side, elbows straight and locked. And just hold your arm in that position. I'm gonna put a little pressure downwards. And fold. Okay, so that's folding. Go like that. And fold.
You know, it also helps that I've already sang with you, you know.
Okay. Now hold this down towards the table. I'm pulling it up.
Okay.
And then we'll do that on this side. So elbow straight and locked. And hold that right there. Good. And hold. And then bring it down to the table. And hold down. Good. Okay, so now I'm just going to test a bunch of muscles. Can't believe I just said test.
Test?
Yeah.
Why?
It's not my usual language. Elbow straight, but relaxed wrist. Okay, I'm going down and in that. Well, you're not looking, so I'm going down and in that way.
Okay,
You just hold it up against my pressure.
Okay.
You don't have to push.
okay.
Just hold that position and hold. Good. Let's do the other side. And hold. Okay, so that one's not holding on that side. Come over to the side of the table.
Like, scoot over?
Yep. No problem. Go. Okay. So you're gonna stick your hand underneath your back like that and pull your elbow back. Not your shoulder, just your elbow.
Like
There
a-
we- yeah.
Like a quacking like a duck?
Exactly.
Okay,
This is called the chicken wing.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm just gonna try and pull your elbow out.
Hold it down,
Yeah, and hold. Okay, good. And on to the other side of the table.
scoot over?
Yep, same thing. And the other side. Here, so your elbow can drop down. There we go. Good. And pull that back. There we go. And hold. Very good. Okay, now back to the center. All right. Hand at your side. Elbow straight and locked. And keep that elbow really locked. There we go. But wrist relaxed. Okay, and now I'm just going straight out to the side. You hold towards me and hold. Okay, let's do this one. And relax that wrist. Turn it out. Go straight. And now I'm pushing out to the side this way. That one's not so great.
That's so crazy.
Okay. Now turn this out to the side like that. Relax that shoulder, elbow locked. Okay, now you're gonna hold that against your side. I'm gonna pull away. Ready?
Mhm.
And hold. No. Okay. And turn this one out. Elbow straight and locked, but shoulder relaxed. Elbows. There we go. Okay, and I'm pushing out to the side and hold. Okay.
Dang, I'm trying hard too.
Right. This stays at your side. Whoops, sorry. Elbow straight. Just let your arm drop. There we go. Okay. Keep that elbow locked. And I'm pulling straight up. You hold down.
Okay.
And hold. Okay. Lock. Other side. And keep that elbow locked. Straight. There we go. Just relax this down.
Mm.
There we go. Keep that straight. And hold down. Okay, good. Pardon my back. And just let your, keeping your elbow at 90 degrees, just let your hand drop. Let the whole arm rotate down. There we go, like that. Is that as far as it goes? Right there? Good. Okay. I'm gonna try and rotate your arm up this way. You hold
Okay.
it down.
Okay.
And hold. Okay, good. Other side. Let this drop down. Okay, so range of motion is a little less on this side, and hold that down. Okay, that holds. All right, leg. And right there, hold that right there.
Okay.
I'm pushing in two places, here
Mhm.
and here.
Okay.
And you just hold this position.
Okay.
And hold. I don't think so. Okay, let's do the other one. And hold. All right, so those are off. Come out to the side. I'm coming straight in towards the center. You hold out to the side.
Okay,
Okay,
like hold it out.
yeah, but now just relax your hips. There you go. Okay, now hold it straight out to the side. Okay, that holds. This one, and hold. Good. Da-di-da-di-da. Let's try this. So we're gonna come up straight. Let's keep that knee straight. Turn your foot out to the side. Now just let your leg go. There we go. I want complete control of your leg. And now hold that up like that, and I'm gonna push down. You ready?
Okay,
So you're holding it up,
okay,
and hold it up now.
okay.
Okay, and hold. Okay, let it go. Good. Turn it out to the side. And hold. Good. All right, let's go for, let's see, yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna try and straighten your leg. So I'm gonna be pushing here and pulling here.
Okay.
And you just try and hold that position.
Okay.
And hold. And that is
Jeez.
not holding.
It's like you're barely pushing too.
That's true, although that, you know, most people say, you're doing it harder now.
No, it
So
felt like you're
that's-
barely pushing,
Yeah.
but I
okay,
couldn't hold it.
Right, so just let this go,
Okay,
let it relax.
Okay.
Okay, now hold that position
okay.
and hold. Okay, this is holding at the knee, but not here. You feel that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, let's see what we want to do. Let's go here. Rotate the foot in. I'm going to rotate it. I'm going to try and rotate it out. You hold it in
Okay.
and hold. Okay, good. To the other side. Take that in and keep that like that. And hold. Good. Let's do it. Let's get this up like this. Rotate it in like that. You hold it in like that. I'm
Okay.
going to be trying to rotate it out.
Okay.
And hold. Okay, good. And hold. Good. Over here, we'll just do this. So bring this back out. Just let it relax. And at your side. Turn it in this time, and I'm going down and in like that.
Okay.
So you hold it up and out towards me.
Okay.
And hold. And that's not holding. Let it go. Let it go. There you go. And hold. Okay. And just for grins, let's do this one. I'm just going to try and pull these towards me
Okay.
and hold.
Pull it right over.
Nice try. And hold.
And this doesn't mean my muscles are weak, does it?
That's a complicated question.
Okay.
I'm not going to answer it right now. They're not holding. I tend not to like to use weak or strong so much, but right now they're unlocked.
Okay.
Those ones that aren't holding.
Like it doesn't have anything to do with strength and weightlifting.
No,
Okay.
not very much. All right, let's come back up here. Let's see what this is. So I'm going to be pulling this across that way. You hold it back.
Okay.
And hold. And let's do this like this. Elbow straight. Okay, I'm going up and away that way. And hold. Okay. This one, elbow straight, locked, wrist relaxed, turn it out, and hold. Okay, I'm over here. Let's do this one on this side. Go back over here. Elbow straight. Okay, I'm pulling your whole arm down like this. Keep that elbow locked and hold. Okay. And here, and hold this back, and then hold this up, and hold. All right. Well, that gives us a pretty interesting picture of things. Okay, so what stands out to me there is basically every digestive system muscle was off. And then as well, the three muscles related to blood sugar, which is not necessarily unrelated to your digestive system either, we're all off. So what's your relationship with sugar?
I mean, I have it.
You have sugar?
I have sugar.
Do you eat a lot of sweets?
I mean, I try to make them healthier, but it's in there, you know, like I made this awesome tofu chocolate pie.
Mm.
But there's sugar in the chocolate, and
Okay.
I had a piece today.
Okay.
I do put sugar in my coffee. I tried doing the stevia as our last appointment,
Okay.
and I just cannot do it.
Yeah.
It's terrible. So I try to do like a healthier, I even tried coconut sugar.
Yeah.
I was using that for a while.
Yeah.
But
Sugar is sugar.
sugar, it's in there.
Okay. How much coffee do you drink
1 or 2 cups.
a day? Okay.
I sometimes I don't even finish my first, but sometimes I will have 2.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. But at least, yeah, at least the 1.
Okay. Very good. All right. So let's see what we get.
It's like the harder I try to avoid sugar, the more I want it.
Yeah. Well, it's an addictive.
Oh, and I do eat a ton of apples and dates. That's like my go-to to not eat junk.
Okay. Apples are
Well,
good.
that makes me feel better.
Apples are good.
Because I'll cut up a plate of apples and dates. Then I know that there's a ton of sugar in dates, but I feel like it's better than eating candy.
It is definitely better than eating candy. Okay. Okay, so let's see what we get.
Okay.
Okay, gallbladder, we got kidney. 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 Okay, so let's bring this guy up again. And then at your side, knee straight, turned out. Hold it up, I'm pushing down and slightly away. You ready? And hold. All right, and now just let that go, relax. And hold it again. And turn that out. And hold. Up and in and relax. Keep the knee straight. Let the leg go. There we go. And hold it again.
Feels a lot stronger.
Well, that one held to begin with when we were checking them all.
Oh.
But the thing is, it's in a state that we call over-facilitated. So
What
it's
is that?
actually too strong.
Oh,
Right?
does
It's
that
not. It means it's not unlocking when I do something that should unlock it. So it's in a kind of call it like stage 2 stress.
well, for children.
Right. For children and everything else, but
Yes.
all the other stuff we were talking about
Yes.
too.
Oh, yes.
So stage 2 stress is like compensation, where you're like overriding, where you're in override mode.
Like I'm on just autopilot, kind of like I have to just
Kind of like that.
to get stuff done.
Yeah. Okay, feet together and apart. And hold. kidney. Feet together and apart. And again. All right. So, see where we're going to go with that. Feet together. Okay. Get to have some tuning fork fun. Yes. Don't. I forgot to remind you about that.
Sorry,
You put your feet together, right?
I think I did, yeah.
Yeah. All right. So put your feet together again. And just quickly reboot. That'll keep them together. Up and hold. Hold it up. Hold it up. Okay.
I won't.
This time, feet together and apart. And again. Feet together and apart. Okay, so don't put your feet together unless either you tell me first
Okay,
or I say it's okay.
should I keep my hand up?
That doesn't matter. What am I doing? Spleen? No, kidney and liver. Come on in. All right, so let's see. We're looking for the wood point on kidney, which is kidney 1. So yeah, I'll do this officially. Okay, you can put your hand down. Actually, while I'm doing this, let's have you take some slow, deep breaths. Breathing into your belly. And as you're breathing deeply into your belly, I want you to imagine that the breath is all coming from all directions and coming directly into your heart and flowing out from your heart. Just as a little visualization. Since we just started doing that, I'm going to give you one more ding. This foot. Just keep that breathing going and imagining that the breath is coming directly into your heart and flowing out. Right. Okay, one more to that feet together apart. Relax that again. Okay. So this point on the bottom of your feet is the first point on the kidney meridian, which is a pretty important point. And specifically, it's a point on the kidney meridian that also relates to the liver meridian. And the kidney is the yin meridian on the water element, which if you want to turn your head without moving your feet. So here's your 5 elements, right? Fire, earth, metal, water, wood. Each of them has at least 2 meridians in it. One is the outside one is designated as yang, the inside one is designated as yin. And your yoga instructor, right, you know a little bit about yin and yang and that kind of thing, not so much?
No.
Okay. So yin is more internalized as the female, the moon, dark, all of that. Yang is male, sun, light, all of that kind of stuff. So we're dealing, kidney and liver are both yin meridians, and each of these 5 elements has many correspondences to them: seasons, foods, tastes, sounds, and emotions. So the kidney is the yin meridian on the metal element. The metal element is all about like fear and anxiety and things like that. And liver is the yin meridian on the wood element, which is more about like anger and rage and things like that. So, with your hands at your sides. So this point directly addresses that relationship of kidney and liver. It's on the kidney meridian, so it's liver to kidney. So if you were to think about the relationship of fear and anxiety to anger, or vice versa, does anything in particular come to mind?
I mean, when I have my like little rages at home, when everyone's pissing me off,
Mhm.
one of those. Yeah, I mean, actually, maybe the past 2 days in the evenings, I've had these raging, overstimulated bursts, where my husband had to like look at me and he was like, yo, stop. And I had to like regulate myself. And even the other night, I was like, I need to remove myself from here and go lay in bed and just regulate myself. Because it was just, I don't even know where it's coming from. It's just too much, too much.
So it's the anger, that's the anger part.
Yeah.
So where's the fear part in relation to that?
Fear, I guess, not working, me not having a real income at the moment. And I mean, I know I will soon. It just sucks not stressing about having to like come up with money to pay your bills. That kind of fear
Mm-hmm.
sucks.
And do you think that's what was triggering those anger bursts?
Probably a mix of stress about money and just everything that I have to do at the house, and then also not being able to like get away and like go treat myself to anything because there is no extra money to go and do the little things I like to do to treat myself and the kids. And
Like what?
like going, it's simple, like going for a walk and going to get ice cream or taking them out to dinner. Like those are things I like to do with the kids. It's fun walking around and just anything. But like not, I don't know, and not being able to, like kind of feeling stuck. It's frustrating,
Okay.
super frustrating. Money is like a security for me, like knowing I have money in the bank, that then I don't have to worry, because it's like if things come up, no big deal. And so I kind of feel like I'm hiding lately from going out into the world because in case anything happens, so I just stay at home. And I think that's like stressing me out too.
Okay. So let me shift over to something we were talking about before with your dad.
Mm-hmm.
So if you were to think about this relationship of anger and fear as it relates to, some of that stuff you were talking about with your dad, is there anything that connects there?
I mean, we never really had to worry about stuff when we were younger. He just always took care of it. So I had that sense of security really with him, not when we had to go and stay with my mom, we never knew what we were gonna get into. I don't know if I told you this, but there was a point where she like kidnapped us when we were little and took us to Alaska. And so there's been, you know, she was broke, didn't know where money was coming from. And so there was a lot of stress and anxiety and fear there. Like she would have us dine and ditch a lot when we were kids. That was really stressful. But never with my dad. I mean, we were just taken care of. He took really good care of us.
Okay. So if you kind of compare what you were talking about in your own current situation with how you perceive things as a kid with when you would go visit your mom and getting kidnapped and dining and dashing and things
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
So what's that connection about like?
I don't know. I guess the fear and rage is coming from not feeling that security of being financially stable at the moment.
And what did that feel like as a kid with your mom?
I was mad that she was so, I don't know, that she like, we had to be the grown-ups and be like, this isn't the right thing to do. You shouldn't be doing this. I mean, I would never do that with my kids, ever. You know? I don't know. I guess I'm a little confused.
About
How it relates.
okay. Well, are there any fears, you know, in terms, I mean, that your mom was your model in that respect.
Yeah, I definitely did not want to turn out like her. And I knew that from a really young age. Very mentally unstable, raging fits of anger towards us.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes, like, I remember a particular incident, I called my dad to come get me. She was raging so hard, and he came to get me, and she was like crying, like, please don't leave, just give me another chance, please stay. So I stayed, but I remember her calling me like a cunt. I was like 8 years old, and she was living in this little room that she rented. And it just was like just the shittiest, unsafe feeling. And I wanted to leave, but I also felt bad. Like, I have to stay, I can't hurt her feelings.
Okay. Feet together and apart. Okay. You can blind your hand again. Just going to shift back to your dad again in terms of what we were talking about, since that's kind of where we began with the stage fright thing and aspect of things like that. And so you were talking about how you know, how your dad never complimented you about your voices, and basically it was all expectations of you to just be good to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
And so there was punishment if you weren't good, but no real praise if you were good, sounds like.
Right.
Is that accurate?
Yeah.
Okay. And so now that, that's kind of the kind of things that go through your head when you're getting up to perform, are all these questions running through your mind about it, are you good enough, and all of that kind of stuff. So coming from like perhaps little Jessica's perspective, how do how how do you feel about that?
How do I feel about not
You know,
being praised?
yeah, trying as
So,
hard as you did to, get his approval essentially, and not get it.
so it's, I guess, so I would write these like little songs and be like, this is a song I wrote. And it was just dismissed, and then he would go and perform, and he was very much a showman, and he was given tons of praise, it was almost like living with a movie star. And when I would try to show like, look what I can do, it was like, yeah. And poor little Jessica, because now when my kids write songs or do things, I'm like, hell yeah, that's awesome. Oh my gosh. And it is really good anyway. It's not just because of that, but I want to make sure to fully praise them and let them know like how incredible their little talents are, because it sucks when you go to show your parent and express something and it's kind of like dismissed like it's not a big deal, you know.
So getting back to this relationship of fear and anger, is there an aspect of anger anywhere in there that you never got that kind of praise?
I don't want to say angry, maybe like, well, screw you, but not like, kind of more embarrassed, It
Okay.
was like, because it would be such a vulnerable thing. And then, so it would make me not even want to try.
Okay. And then, the stage fright thing obviously is a fear-based thing.
Mhm. Yeah, but I always wanted to so badly. Like, I've always had this fantasy of being a singer and people loving my songs
Hmm.
and singing along and having my songs in a movie or like a love scene or just something where people know it and love it. And so it's just crazy that it took him passing to me finally saying like, well, I'm not, like, I wish he was here to see me beat that fear, and do it anyway. But also at the same time, I don't know if he would even be like, great job, he'd be like, oh, cool, now listen to my song, you know?
Okay.
I know it sounds silly.
No. Does it sound silly to you?
I mean,
What's silly about that?
because like I'm a grown up now,
Yeah. But there's little Jessica in there going, hey Dad, how about it?
Yeah, I wish I could have sang him a song. I've never sang my dad a song.
Okay. Okay, so here's what I'd like you to do. I would like for you to create a picture in your mind of you standing up on a stage, wherever, create whatever little environment feels good to you, a little club or, whatever it is. And you're on a stage and you're performing, and Dad is out in the audience. And you're up there doing your thing, and he's sitting down there watching you. Just create a picture of that. And now put a little frame around that picture. And now look at that picture. What does it feel like to look at that picture? How's the feeling?
I mean, it's really hard to even imagine him present and paying attention to
Okay.
it.
Okay. So how does that feel?
Like I can't even pretend.
So how does it feel just
Shitty.
recognizing that?
I feel shitty.
Okay. So what do you need to make that picture not feel shitty?
This sounds really shitty to say, but like him not even being there. Like,
How does that change things?
it's like freedom. Like I'm not being judged or criticized.
Okay. So do you want to remove him from the picture?
Well, no, I just don't want to care so much. Like, it would be nice. I guess I don't want to care that he's not paying attention or engaged or admiring what I'm doing. I don't want to remove him from it, but also I guess it would be easier if he wasn't there.
Okay. Can you create that picture such that he's there and you're playing and he is engaged? Can
Like,
you,
I can picture him like,
can you imagine that?
I can imagine him singing along with me,
Yeah.
but also him trying to be like, but harmonize with me, you know?
What do you want to tell him about that?
Just listen to the damn song, Dad.
All right then.
Jesus, you know? And he was goofy, so he would take it and laugh and be like, okay, you know?
Okay. And if you actually said that to him, would he then turn around and harmonize with you?
Probably, yeah,
All right, so tell him that.
yeah.
So how does that change that picture now?
Change makes it good.
Okay. So now look at that picture where he's engaged and he's actually harmonizing to you sitting where he's sitting.
Mhm.
How does that feel?
That feels wonderful. Like, finally, I don't know why I didn't just have a voice to say that before, you know?
It doesn't matter, you're saying it now. Okay, so take that in. Look at that picture. You're playing. He's watching you and singing and engaged and just digging it. How's that?
It's awesome.
Okay, take a deep breath. Take another deep breath and imagine that breath flowing into your heart and out from your heart with all the feeling that goes with that. Can you name that feeling?
Joy.
Joy? Okay. Can you actually feel that joy? Looking at that picture, can you feel that joy of what that feels like?
It's like an accomplished feeling.
An accomplished feeling.
Mhm.
Okay. So feel that feeling and breathe that feeling into your heart and out from your heart. Take 3 deep breaths with that feeling. And hold. Okay. Okay, and turn your foot out and hold it up. And now hold it right there. Hold it up. You got it? Hold. Good. And hold. Good. And relax. Let it go. And hold it again. There we go. And hold. Let it relax. Completely relax. Let it go. Let me have your leg. Let it go. Yeah. Okay. Okay. And hold it again. Good. And turn it out. There we go. Hold it up. Hold it up. Against my pressure. There we go. Okay, now let it go. Let it completely relax. And hold it up. Yeah, and relax. And hold it up. Good.
I feel like we just really got to know each other. You guys know me.
Let's see. So, all right, let's go back and test some muscles. So, feet together. Now we can shortcut a little bit by just going to the ones that didn't hold before. So, elbow straight. And I am coming down and in this way. You hold it up and out. Okay, that's holding. I'm going out to the side. You hold. Feel a difference?
Yeah, but didn't feel like it was moving.
It didn't move at all. Elbow straight. Elbow straight. Locked. Go. And hold. Good. While we're here, I'm going to go up and away that way. Hold. Beautiful. This side. Going up and away. Hold. And let's turn this out. Drop that shoulder. Let the elbow straight and locked. And just let that shoulder relax. Go. Elbow straight and locked. There we go. Keep it locked. Okay, there we go. And hold.
Yeah, much stronger.
This side. Just relax there. Yeah, go. And go straight and locked and hold. Beautiful. let's see, what else did we have here? I don't think there was too much. That's good, that was good. Yeah, so let's see. That was good. We know that was good, so let's try. Turn this in. And I'm going down and in, you hold it up and out towards me. Geese of it. Other side. Hold that up towards me. Okay. And remember this one?
Yeah.
And then hold. I love that muscle.
Which one is it?
This is called quadratus lumborum. And it's like, it's all or nothing.
I was gonna
If
say,
you
last
can't
time you just
hold
told me
it,
like
it's
nothing.
gone. And then if you can, it's like you're not even trying.
Yeah.
It's a wonderful muscle. Let's see, we had our sartorius, so just let this relax. So there we go. Okay, so I'm pushing there and pulling here, then hold. On this side, before, it held here, but not here.
Right.
And just for fun and to please the audience, go like that, and that just immediately unlocks that.
Wow.
And hold it again.
Okay.
Okay, good. And hold. So I'm pulling here, you hold that in. There we go. Okay. Try that again.
Wow.
And hold it again.
Wow, it's like you're talking to the muscle fibers.
That's exactly
That's
what we're
crazy.
doing.
Same. I can like see it.
Yes, that was all right. I think that was everything that wasn't holding before. Oh, quadriceps. Okay, and hold. Yeah, it's not going anywhere. And hold. Yeah, fine. How you feeling?
I feel great.
Okay. So let's have you sit up for a second, and you do so by turning onto your side all the way, and then pushing yourself up with that arm and swinging around. Exactly. How's it going, eh?
Good, eh?
All right, well, let's pull up the chair again. Actually, why don't you go grab your guitar?
No. We're all best friends now. Sing song?
Do whatever song you want. You can do the same song if you want to just, straight up comparison. Yeah, do the same song so we can just hear.
Got my feet on the ground, but my head's in the clouds. I'm running full steam ahead, nothing can slow me down. I can see for miles and miles in the rear view. Wide open spaces, no looking back. Sunrise on me. Freedom of the morning.
Just stop for a second. Just give me this arm. Hold that up. And hold. And hold. Okay. So how's that feel this time compared to the first time?
I felt more relaxed, definitely. Still a little bit of nerve is just
Mhm.
because I'm aware of their presence, but I am definitely more relaxed.
Okay. And how did that feel vocally?
It felt natural.
Mhm.
Like it just felt better. Like softer.
Okay. Softer, like just in as
all
a
of it.
quality.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's what I want to do when I play in front of people, is have that, like, what I wish, like, whatever created this feeling of almost like not caring and just being present with the song. It was like there was still a little bit of fear in there and awareness, but I want to like, but the being present with the song was more there.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense to you.
Yeah.
That's all that matters. Okay, cool. All right, well, you can put that away.
Okay.
Okay, so that picture that you created,
Yeah.
and the feeling of looking at that picture when your dad was engaged and all that,
Mhm.
right? That now can become a resource for you. You have that picture, and you can bring that picture up anytime you want, and that's your reality now. Because the brain doesn't distinguish between imagination and reality. So
Dang.
that's your picture. You can, like I said, use that as a resource and bring that picture up.
Yeah.
You know, anytime you want that particular feeling, whether you're about to perform or anything else, or where your kids are freaking you out, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
Do you have any questions or feedback that you would like to offer?
No, like what? Well, I don't want to say no. What a gift, because that goofy guy, that goofy face, it was always a place of comfort and safety, even though, praise stuff aside, it was he was my safe place. And so to have that little, because he's not here anymore, to be able to hold on to that and know that my brain can't decipher, it's almost like I have a memory now.
Right.
But who's to say it's not real? Because what is time in reality,
So is Lerner your
Yeah.
is that your maiden name? Is that your dad's name?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, but it's not like that Lerner.
What do you mean?
Like, was it Frank Lerner? The
There's-
Lerner in Low,
No, I don't think so.
any connection to
I don't know. But
the
there's a lot of
Lerner-
music.
Lerner families?
There's a lot of music in the history, like Abe Lyman and the California Band.
Uh-huh.
That was his uncle. So they did a lot of like music for Disney, and even before Disney, what was there? Like, I want to say MGM.
There was
or
nothing
something.
before Disney.
There was some. They did a lot. It's like a lot of that.
MGM, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so old movie
Movies, yeah.
studios and stuff like
Charles Chaplin, he worked with him.
Right.
So there was a lot of like.
Your dad worked with him?
His uncle.
His uncle. Okay, so the family.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they had a restaurant in LA that people would come and sing at. Frank Sinatra sang there.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
So it's just been music.
Cool.
Yeah.
Good. Well, you got it in, yeah.
Thanks.
All right, well, let's turn it back to these guys. Hi, everybody. You can unmute yourselves now if you want.
Thank you so much for doing that, and Jessica for being like open with everybody here and letting us get that picture.
When he said, are you sure you want to do this? It's going to be, I can't remember exactly what you said, but.
Well, I just mentioned, that,
Some emotional
particularly
stuff might come
if anything emotional, you never know what's going to happen in a session, right?
I was like, no way, I'm fine, I'm
we could
good.
have just been doing chakra balancing and flower essences or who knows what, but you know, the emotional thing comes up, and I figured once we were working on something like stage fright that, you know, there's going to be an emotional component there. So, and so you got a bit of a taste of how I do emotional processing. I don't know, am I supposed to be explaining anything I did, or just you want questions, or
There's
what?
some questions in your
what do you
chat,
want me-
maybe.
Might need my glasses.
You want me to read it for you?
Yeah. Yeah, okay.
So far, there are not questions in the chat. It's just people commenting on how relaxed and confident the singing was.
Oh, okay. Sounds more relaxed and confident. I could feel your confidence this time.
Yeah. Oh.
Quadratus lumborum, favored amongst kinesiologists everywhere for being the drama queen. That's great. I love that muscle. Yeah.
We all love that muscle.
What is it? Tell me, explain it.
Well, it's just this muscle, you know, you put your feet out to the side and I pull across, right? And if you can't hold it, there's no in between with that muscle. It's either it's totally locked and I can pull as hard as I want and it doesn't matter, or I can like use a feather and it just, the legs just go. It's remarkable that way. So yeah, it's related to the large end. That's the most kinesiology answer ever. What is that? What were you referring to, Alexis? Do you remember?
I do, because it struck me as so funny and on point. It was when she said, does that mean that my muscles are weak? And that doesn't mean that my muscles are weak. And you were like, well, it's complicated, which like, that's something that we all say, right? Like, well, it could mean almost anything, actually, depending on what we're doing, right? So yeah, it was funny.
This is magical stuff.
And as you could tell, I mean, you know, Jessica had one session with me, so she really still doesn't really know what to expect or what's going on. And so all her reactions to, you know, when a muscle changed and all that were all that wonderful, genuine, like, wow,
Yeah.
kind of a thing.
Yeah.
But, you know, the setup was simply, you know, I always go through and check a lot of muscles as an assessment, and then I was just using your basic holographic approach of finding two meridians and looking at the relationship between the two, and then seeing what comes up there, and essentially any meridian-based correction that comes up from there is going to have that holographic aspect to it. And so you're addressing the relationship of those two meridians simultaneously. And the thing about that is that on one hand, it's much more specific because you're, you know, rather than just looking at what were we doing, kidney, the whole kidney meridian and organ and all the points and muscles and everything else that are related to that. Now you're zeroing in on a very specific relationship. But when you do that from the nature of a hologram, then the way a hologram is constructed is also presents a scenario like DNA. So it's like you're always addressing the whole. You can take one cell and recreate a whole being out of one, you know, strand of DNA from one cell in a cloning scenario. And holography is the same way. If you take a holographic plate and cut it up into little pieces and shine a laser onto it, you still get the whole picture, unlike a photograph. So you're addressing something much more specifically and at the same time still addressing the whole, which makes it very efficient. And the command points which are holographic in nature because a command point by definition relates a meridian to each of the other elements, are perfect for that. And so you can really dive into that relationship factor. And as you saw in doing the emotional processing, I started with a very simple question. What is the relationship of anger? And just going from 5-element emotions, what's that relationship of anger and fear, what does that mean to you? And from there, we got all that story stuff, which brought up then where we went with that.
It's wild.
And then the only other thing I'll add is the aspect of when doing a correction, and I had her breathing and imagining the breath flowing into the heart and out from the heart. That's basic HeartMath. And what that does is generate a coherent heart rhythm. And when you generate a coherent heart rhythm, it affects over 1,400 physiological processes in the body. And so when you do that while you're making any correction of any kind, it will increase the effectiveness of your correction rather dramatically, which I could demonstrate with just a range of motion test if I were doing that, in a demonstration scenario. I could have a person touch, find a muscle that's out of balance, have them touch a neurolymphatic, and then that muscle will lock. But if you do your basic Sheldon Deal type leg abduction range of motion, you do that before you do anything, and then you find the muscle and you have them hold the correction, while they're just holding the point, do the range of motion again, and it'll increase because it should. You're making a correction. You hold that point and you get coherent, that abduction will dramatically increase even further. So HeartMath is really awesome stuff. And then that was incorporated into the emotional processing part as well later on, to just really ground all of that while she was experiencing the new feeling, having her do that. So that's my post-session wrap. Does anybody have any questions or comments or anything they'd like to discuss about any of that? Yes.
Hi, I have a question. Because this issue is very deep and goes back to your childhood and your parents and so on, do you do a follow-up session on this issue?
Oh, yeah, absolutely could do. And we'll be doing a follow-up session tomorrow night because we'll be playing music for the first time in public together.
Oh.
So that'll be kind of an interesting indicator of things.
Yeah, I'm really excited for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, we don't, like she said, when she came back, she felt more relaxed, but she was still a little nervous. There's still a lot of stuff in your brain, programming you gotta work out. And the way you work that out is by doing and getting the feedback.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what allows you to ultimately, release that. So we're just unwinding that to begin with, but a person still has to go out and then do something to get the feedback and continue that process.
Mm-hmm.
But and sometimes maybe it's instantaneous and they get out there and it's just immediately different.
Mm-hmm.
Nice cattail.
Thank you.
Aw. Yeah. So, Sure. You follow things up and you do, and and look, there was a lot of stuff under there, and it sounded to me like this is stuff that Jessica's never really explored a whole
I was
lot.
not expecting that.
Right. And so this was kind of new and different for her to take something like that and bring it back to other stuff. And a lot came out, and, including stuff that may or may not have even been related to the stage fright thing. I kept
Right.
kind of bringing it back to that. But when the mom issue clearly became a thing, I wanted to give
Of my
that
wages lately.
its due as well. And there is a relationship there. And I'll make one other, so I was doing acupressure that whole time on kidney 1, right? Which is your wood element point on the kidney meridian, that relationship between kidney and liver. And when you do emotional processing while you're holding a command point that's directly related to the emotions that you're talking about, it will tell you when you're on the right track and when you're not. So as I was talking about things, there were times where those points just start pounding under your fingers, and that's how you know you're on the right track. And so, you can shift and go to different places, and if it's not relevant, those points are going to go dead under your fingers. And if it is relevant, the more relevant it is, the more they're just going to be pounding. And so, when she started talking about her mom, that brought up another element of that. And so I shifted over to that to bring that in, but then also still wanted to bring it back to what the issue that brought all that up to begin with. And that combination of things, yeah, that's right for all kinds of follow-up sessions. There's a lot there to unwind and unpack, but it started that process.
For your clients, it's a very deep emotional dive that you're doing, and I'm just wondering, like, how much. I think sometimes I have clients say they feel like more emotional after for the next few days, and I always say, hey, just message me and I'll do a remote, switching balance for you or something. But like, I don't know, what would you say to that? Like the emotional depth and intensity, that was pretty deep. And so what would you say to your client, like how to expect processing and afterwards, or how to do self-care from there?
Yeah, so it's a combination of things. I'm always observing to begin with, and it was just clear when I was going through the muscles again at the end that her whole body was way more relaxed than it was at the beginning. And so I knew we had reached, some element of at least a partial conclusion. Come on, Zephyr. You're a very insecure kitty exploring.
Self-care.
And at the same time, I felt like we got to a pretty good conclusion at the end, and which I'm always trying to do, of course. And that whole picture scenario, which is this combination of different types of processing with the HeartMath. And so if you can get to that point of getting to that positive response to the picture and grounding it with coherent heart rhythm while experiencing that feeling, that tends to reduce the need for that kind of stuff immensely. But you don't always get there. So yeah, if it's clear that there's an emotional thing going on, that there's still emotional stuff going on at the end, or even not, it's like you said, I'll say, let me know how you feel over the next few days. And, if you need some support, let me know, and we can do something about that. So yeah, I mean, that's always a thing, whether it's emotional or physical or whatever, sometimes physical pain comes up as well, whether you're working on an emotional thing or a physical thing. You don't always, you can't resolve a person's life in an hour, usually. So yeah, I always let them know that I'm here. And then what I give, my go-to for self-care, HeartMath.
Mm-hmm. The gratitude.
Whatever it is, just getting coherent, shifting into a heart-based emotion of compassion or gratitude or whatever it is.
Is that something you could share with us later on the server of Discord, like just an easy tutorial on that you'd share with a client, or is it something that you'd have to train them in?
It's a fine line there, but yeah, so with a client, what I would do, I would say, okay, so I mean, the simplest part of HeartMath that can generate a coherent rhythm, is sort of the underlying part of any HeartMath technique, is this aspect of coherence breathing, where you just have a person take slower, deeper breaths, 5 seconds in, 5 seconds out, and imagine that the breath is coming directly into the heart and flowing out from the heart. And I like to create that as, a 360-degree, where the breath is coming from everywhere into the heart and then flowing back out. And just doing that will generate a coherent heart rhythm. And it's
I'm still here. Sorry.
We've had a lot of names for it over the years. One of which is, it's just a way of, it's a way of coming back to center, neutral breath. It's a way of neutralizing. And quite frankly, it's something that every kinesiology practitioner should know and do between every client. And not only when you're leading a person through that, you should be doing it too as a practitioner, because the heart generates the largest electromagnetic field in the body. And so when you're generating a coherent heart rhythm, you're broadcasting that. And other people that are around you that are not in a coherent heart rhythm will come into a coherent rhythm from your coherence. So you have the ability to affect your environment that way, and ultimately the planet, because the planet has an electromagnetic field that goes, hundreds of thousands of miles into space, and electromagnetic fields influence each other. So the more that people generate coherence, the more we generate a coherent planetary field. And that's really important. Does that help?
Oh, absolutely. Took it to a whole other level. Thank you.
Right.
And in part 2 of my holographic experience series, which is previously called Holographic Touch for Health 2, because it still has a decent amount of touch for health, and if it starts to branch out from there, it includes a half day of HeartMath training.
Oh, cool.
Official HeartMath training, that you then have the option of completing the training in another half day, if we set it up that way.
And HeartMath came up on this server, right? We were all talking about it at some point. So I think I'm really interested.
It's really important. Yeah, it's amazing stuff. What I would recommend you do at the very least, if you go to heartmath.com or .org and you look for the HeartMath experience, which they released just before the pandemic started, and they were charging, it's like, I think it's 90 minutes worth of stuff, and it was like $30. And then the pandemic came out, and they just decided to offer it for free, and they've never gone back from that. So you can get a basic HeartMath, basic HeartMath training. There's unbelievable amount of resources available from them on stuff. There's tons of YouTube videos and all kinds of things. And then I think for, I don't know, $100 or something, there's a HeartMath, a very basic HeartMath training. I'm blanking on, there's so many different names of their trainings, but they created it specifically for people such as us, or massage therapists, or whomever, to be able to actually, legally, whatever that means, from a HeartMath perspective, do HeartMath with your clients. Because in order to do HeartMath with your clients, you're supposed to get certified as either a coach or a practitioner or a trainer, all of which cost more money than $100. But for $100, you learn one technique, the heart lock-in, which is, the killer technique. And so, yeah. And if anybody that wants to teach my stuff and get to the point where they can teach level 2, then yeah, that is highly suggested. But it's highly suggested anyway, because you'll learn the science behind it, you'll learn the technique, and you'll be able to, use it with your clients. Not that the HeartMath police is going to come after you if you do just what I've told you to do with your clients anyway, because they're really very cool people. And they have a gathering that they're going to be doing in California in April, I think, April or May. Prior to the pandemic, they did a thing in Mexico every year, and it was a blast. And then, of course, the pandemic derailed everything. So this is going to be their first live gathering since then, and they're doing it near their home base in Northern California. So if you want more information about that, I can, just email me or whatever.
Thank you.
Yeah. Any other questions?
I'm looking at the time, it's like 10 to 9 here, so we should probably wrap up in the next few minutes if anybody has anything else for Adam.
No, all good.
Okay.
I'll throw in a shameless self-promotion. So I just completed a course, a digital course called Understanding Muscle Response Feedback, which is my preferred name for what we do now. And it's just slightly over 3 hours of material. And I did have a subtitle on it at one point, Understanding Muscle Response Feedback, what they don't teach in workshops. And basically, and it's stuff that, depending on who obviously you guys have the killer instructor here, so you probably have learned some of that, but the first half of it is sort of the underlying philosophies and models of our work that don't often get talked about. And then the second half is the physiological, neurological concepts of doing proper muscle monitoring, which also don't often get covered. And certainly to have it all, it's strictly a lecture course. It's not a how-to course, it's a why course. And I'm offering it, a starting offer of it for just $47. So if that's something that anybody's interested in, you can email me and or talk to Hannah or Alexis, because I was going to be talking to them about that anyway. It's something they might want to be part of.
Thank you. Thank you for shameless self-promotion. That's how we know that things are happening. It's good.
So like that, if you want to join my email list, and I don't send out huge amounts of emails unless I'm launching something, and then you'll get a little blast of them over a couple of weeks. But you can go to my website and do that, or just email me directly, adam@kinesiohealth.com, and I'll add you to the list with your permission.
Technically, Adam is also in our Discord server, though he doesn't look at it very often, but he might now if we're all
Right,
like
I looked
asking
at
him
it today. It was
questions.
yeah, it looked pretty cool.
It is cool. I mean, it's cool in a nerdy sort of way, but yeah, so he is there and you can message him through that as well. And as soon as I get this video converted, I will pop the link into the server. We're gonna keep it just for members, so we're not sharing it with everybody, but then we have it, right?
Is that okay with you?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Yeah.
All right, let's
Right.
hear it for Jessica.
Aw. Thank
She
you
is
guys.
awesome.
You guys are awesome. Thank you.
And your voice is lovely. We would all come listen to you. Absolutely, any day.
Yeah, she writes
Aw.
great songs. I'm really looking forward to, playing more of them and playing out tomorrow night for the first time. Should be fun.
Exciting.
Thank you.
Right. Thank you everybody for being here tonight. I'm gonna turn off the
Yeah,
recording.
thanks so much for, your kind attention through all of that.
Yeah.
And hope to see you all again sometime soon.